Greetings, pen pals. I have a nice little pen from Jinhao here today. This is the Jinhao Model 500. So this is an all-metal pen. It's got a little bit of heft to it. Weighs in at 41 grams. In terms of size, it's pretty conventionally sized pen. Here you can see it's sized up with a Pilot Metropolitan and a Lamy Safari, and as you can see, it's pretty much right size aligned with these guys. In terms of style, forget about this actual color scheme for a minute, but in terms of just overall styling, it is definitely meant to be reminiscent of a Pelican pen. So here is a Pelican M805, and you can see it's sort of, you know, the way the this is an actual real piston turning knob on the Pelican, but so this fake piston turning knob on the Jinhao, the way everything kind of like lines up. The finial on the top is definitely kind of meant to overall shape be the Pelican-like. So this is definitely meant to echo the overall styling of a Pelican. It's not a knockoff by any means. Nobody's going to actually confuse this pen with a Pelican pen. This particular one has this really kind of interesting checkerboard slash crossword puzzle type pattern on it, which I think looks kind of cool. Along the cap band it says Jinhao in script, and then it just simply says 500. The clip is a clip we've seen in other Jinhao pens. It's a nice clip. It is functional, etc. And like I said, the finial on the top, it's sort of somewhat Pelican-like, and on the bottom it has sort of this fake looking piston turning knob with a little bit of a trim ring. It's a pull to uncap pen. The inside of the cap does have a liner, and on these Jinhao pens this liner is typically very, very effective and actually does a very good job at keeping the pen from drying out. And it does post, and it posts pretty solidly. Again, you might think this is heavy and back weighted. I personally like to post it. It's okay from a length perspective unposted, but I definitely am a fan of posting. The section itself is a matte finish plastic covered section, so if you have a problem with smooth metal sections, you won't have a problem there. Has a gold colored trim ring on the base of the section and some more gold colored trim at the end of the section. The nib is a number 5 bicolor Jinhao number 5 size nib in fine. These nibs typically work quite well and perform well. Number 6 nib would have looked better in this pen, I think. Especially, the number 5 Jinhao nib writes great. I've said it before in other videos. I think the number 6 Jinhao nib, especially for the money, writes absolutely spectacularly. So I would have really liked to have seen the number 6 nib in this pen. And of course, it has an uninspiring plastic feed. From a filling mechanism standpoint, it is a coarse cartridge converter. The converter is included, and given that there's metal all over the place here, obviously this is not a pen you're going to be eyedroppering. But it's kind of a neat looking pen. This comes in a whole bunch of different colorways and finishes, etc. I just thought this checkerboard looked kind of cool, so that's why I picked this one up. But there you go. Just you know, nothing spectacular here. Just this is sort of a very basic sort of Jinhao pen. Again, Jinhao does a really good job with these. Inexpensive, Chinese-made pen. Does have some weight to it. So if you want something that's got a little bit of a weight to it and a little bit of heft to it, this definitely will fit what you're looking for. But you're wondering, how does it write? I'm going to show you that right now. All right, folks, what I'm writing with here today is a Jinhao Model 500. And this has a number 5 steel nib in fine. And again, this writes well. I'd say from a wetness perspective, it's pretty average. It's not a gusher or anything like that, but it does flow. It does flow well and is smooth, etc. Writes nicely. In terms of flex, there really isn't much of anything to be had. They don't advertise this as a flex nib. It's not a flex nib, etc. So, but it does write well, does flow well. Again, these Jinhao nibs, the number 5 and the number 6, historically have written really, really well for me. I do prefer the number 6 one, but the number 5 is no slouch. It does write quite nicely. That's about it. Not a lot to say about this this particular pen. Again, basic, good writing pen from Jinhao. And in terms of this particular pattern, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's really one of these kind of personal taste things. But this pen is available in many, many patterns and finishes. If you don't like this particular ones, you can just check those out if you like. So that's about it for this pen. Let's talk about this ink now for a minute, shall we? All right, this ink is a Birmingham. This ink's from Birmingham Pens. They kind of stopped making ink for a while, and then they just recently, in the last couple months, got back into making ink in a very big way, and they came out with a whole bunch of different inks. I picked up quite a few of them, so you're going to be seeing a lot of Birmingham branded inks in videos for a while until I can work my way through this sort of inventory of Birmingham inks that I bought. But this particular one is called Birmingham Forbes Field Arugula. And it is a nice shade of green. So here's what the color card looks like for the Arugula. If you want to compare it to some other inks that I have that you may have seen in other videos, here's Pen VBS 159 Bitter Herb, and here is Sailor Epinard. So it is quite a bit lighter. The Arugula is quite a bit lighter than the Sailor Epinard. It's just a little bit more muted, say, than the Pen VBS 159 Bitter Herb, but it is a nice shade of green. Doesn't really pop very much. It's sort of a subdued shade, but definitely looks nice. And you do get a little bit of shading. We'll particularly see that when we go to the Tomoe River paper in a minute. In terms of packaging, it's available in various sizes. The one I got was this 60 mil bottle. Birmingham didn't used to package their ink in boxes, and now they package them in boxes, and they're really nice boxes with this metallic foil on them. So they really upped the game on packaging the ink. The bottles and the labels are the same as always. They're really nice, these sort of classic square bottles. They name all their inks on, they're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Birmingham pen company, and they name all their inks after people, places, and things associated with Pittsburgh, so hence the name Forbes Field Arugula. So very nice ink from Birmingham. Like I said, I just got a whole bunch of different inks from Birmingham, so again, we're going to be working through all of those on subsequent videos. So anyway, that's what this ink looks like on this Rhodia paper. Let's take a quick look at what it looks like on Tomoe River paper. Okay, so this is Birmingham. Forbes Field. Arugula. And this is a nice color. You get a little bit of variation, etc. Looks really nice on this Tomoe River paper. Look good on the Rhodia paper as well. Very happy with this color. Nice looking color. Speaking of nice, what would be really nice for all of you folks out there, if you could please like, comment, share, and subscribe. That would be great if you could do one or more of those things. I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, because I sure enjoyed making it. And as always, until we see each other again, have a great day. Bye-bye.